Hello everyone, this is Rosemary coming at you from Ansar Angels, and I wanted to make a video about the prophecy of the popes and the resignation of Pope Benedict XVI, who's the 111th pope. According to the prophecy of the popes from St. Malachi, I wanted to address this issue and the fact that there was a lightning strike at the Basilica at the Vatican on the very same day that he made the announcement on February 11th, and then at 5:55 there was also a lightning strike. That's exactly when it hit, was at 5:55. So, and that's a number that often stands for the Catholic Church. It's all very coincidental and has to do with prophecy being fulfilled, Catholic prophecy being fulfilled. And here we have the prophecy of the popes in Wikipedia. It's talking about this coming from St. Malachi, who was a 12th century Irish archbishop, and he had mentioned that the Pope, after the 111th, St. Malachi mentioned that after the glory of the olive, the 111th Pope, which was Benedict XVI, and it says he reigned from 2005 to 2013, Joseph Ratzinger. Now we're going into Peter the Roman, who will rule from 2013 to be decided, and unknown who it will be yet, because there's a conclave, as you know. So the prophecy states, in the extreme persecution of the Holy Roman Church there will sit Peter the Roman, who will nourish the sheep in many tribulations. When they are finished, the city of 7 hills will be destroyed, and the dreadful judge will judge his people. The end. Very clear. The end, period. Now, people, there's all kinds of speculation. And, of course, they're saying, that, well, anybody who's reigning in Rome is going to be a descendant of Peter. He only has to be Italian to be the Roman. But then others are saying, well, you're the Bishop of Rome, so anybody, and, all descendants of Peter, the first pope, who Jesus gave the keys, the church, I'll build my rock on you, and all of that, that anybody who's a pope could be Peter the Roman. Depending on whether or not you want him to be a good guy or a bad guy, because this makes him a good guy, and people who Catholic bash want to make him a bad guy, so it all depends on who you want to hate. But if you just look at it clearly, without hate and without ego, it takes on another form. And of course, the Zohar speaks about the year 5773 as being a year when there's going to be all kinds of commotion with Rome. It talks about some destructive aspects. It could come from any form of destruction, be it man-made or be it celestial, which we've seen a little bit of that hitting Russia. And there's obviously some connection between the Roman Church and the Orthodox Church in Russia. There's obviously a connection. So, and the Zohar, there's been some people running around saying that the year 5773 is the year 2012. Well, it begins in 2012 in September, and then goes to September of 2013. So there's been a lot of misinformation and disinformation. But to continue with the point, there's going to be all kinds of commotion, obviously, because we're transferring from one age to another age. And whether you want to say it's evil or good or bad, it doesn't matter. The point is, we're changing, we need to adapt. So what's going on is we're going from having organizations that are only led by white men, like the papacy and the presidency and other organizations like that, to being able to be run by perhaps African-American gentlemen, presidency, possibly the papacy, the front runner is African-American, and then, possibly, what, a female president after President Obama? White male, African-American male, woman. Doesn't matter if she's African-American or white, doesn't matter. Susan Rice, Condoleezza Rice, Hillary Clinton, it doesn't matter. The papacy, That might be a little more difficult, but maybe the Pope after this, the end. Perhaps he'll be the last vicar of Christ. Perhaps after him, 113, it'll be somebody who allows women to be priests, and horror of horrors, it could be a woman, a mama instead of a papa. And even worse than that, you know, just someone who says, you know, okay, women can be priests, and the man who presides over that is going to be seen as some horrible person. So yeah, that would be the end, would it not? So then they're going to have to just be, oh, you're the head of the church. You're not really a pope. Because look what you're doing. You're allowing women to be priests, or a woman's a pope. No, 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 no. It's not real anymore. It's not really the vicar of Christ, because it can't be. So forget about it. You're just the head of the church. And America's fallen because you can't have a woman be the head of something strong. So if you have a woman president, well, forget it. It's not real anymore. It's all run by the New World Order. It always was, but, you know, people have to say this, and, you know, you know, the stupidity gets to us after a while. But we have to remember that these are old, tried, and true traditions that go down hard. And people don't like it. And people get angry, and people's egos get in a tizzy. And it's not all the fault of men, ladies, because ladies have so much hatred and jealousy towards each other that really that's a lot of what keeps women down. So ladies, don't point your finger at men, point your finger at how you're treating each other, okay? So as we go through all this, because what happens around us and how catastrophic it's going to be is reflected in our own inner emotions and our own inner shadow side that's going to come out and be reflected in what's around us. So let's check our egos and remember that anything that is opposite to us or not self, self and not self, seems to be the adversary, bothers our ego, and is Hasatan, which means the adversary. If you realize that self and not self are the same thing, and that light needs dark and dark needs light to move, to create life, you start to understand it. Okay, that's all I have to say about that today. You have a great day. Take care. Bye.